Hey y'all, impromptu, but I scheduled it because I needed to work and see what was going on with my um StreamYard. All right. Um I want to touch on a hot topic real quick because it kind of ties into things that I talk about as far as love and relationships is concerned. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to get in here. Hey y'all. Happy Friday. TGIF. I got a hot topic. I just want to let me turn this down because I know that I'm going to give me 1 minute. Hey y'all. What's the scuds in the hoods? See why I'll do that. Okay, don't do it. Okay. But hey y'all, what's going on? Happy Friday. Y'all get in here real quick, like, because I'm not going to be on here that long. I'm taking my 15-20 minute break to do it. So, yeah. Um, ugh, okay. Hey, y'all. Okay. So, I know that some of y'all have been seeing what's been going on with Remy Ma and Pap Poose. It's been going on for quite some time. I know that I was, of course, that we all are fans of Black love. And sometimes things don't work out. And we choose to take another avenue, right? So now it's like they were quiet. I know Pap's been quiet for a while. He hasn't been bringing anything to the internet, as far as I know. You know what I mean? I think um, Remy probably was the first one in the light because of the what's his name, the captain dude, the dude that she's dating, the block captain or whatever his name is. I don't know. I don't know him like that. You know what I'm saying? My guy probably knows him. You know, Easy the block captain. That's his name. My guy probably knows him because he's into that, that battle rap and stuff like that. However, now that they have made the decision to move on separately, he's living a life and she's living a life. Now, I know that their marriage is not final because the reports are out, and everything that I say here is alleged, that they are just getting the lawyers and everything into place from what I seen from his live yesterday and what I seen from her live yesterday. Now, this comes on the heels of Clarissa doing the Breakfast Club interview. And that was maybe a day or two ago. She did the Breakfast Club and she did the interview. Now, I watched her interview because I'm a Clarissa Shields fan, right? I'm a fan of love, right? A big fan of love. So if someone loves someone, um, no matter how they came in the situation, and let me just rephrase that. Well, I'm gonna get deep into it. Um, I think that uh, they have probably been, doing their separate things for a while. Him and Clarissa, him and Remy, Papoose and Remy. So, but I guess his wasn't in the spotlight until he got with Clarissa. Um, I know that hadn't heard anything about him ever cheating on her, but the allegations was real with her and this Easy the Block Captain dude, right? They're separated. If you are in a marriage, they say that it's when you're separated, you're still not supposed to obtain another mate until that marriage is dissolved or final. However, I just feel like if you love someone and you're not with the person that you marry, y'all separated. I feel like you should fulfill your happiness if you want to obtain another mate. That's just how I feel. That's just my opinion. So if they weren't together, but they were separated, they both were in relationships outside of their marriage, right? Because they're not together anymore. Now, I've also been on the on the situation to where, a person was married and I was the one on the side. Like in my heydays, yeah, I did date someone who was married. However, this is a little different because they're not together, they're separated, right? But what I'm trying to get at is now it's becoming very messy. I just never would have expected for either one of them to get this messy about their relationship because as far as we knew, they were like posters for Black love, like real hip hop Black love. Remy and Pap was like the Black love couple. Like I said, sometimes things don't work out. I love the vibe that him and Clarissa have. I'm sorry to say that, but I mean, I do. I love their vibe. I love how him and Clarissa vibe. I like how they're confident with each other. I like how they compliment each other. I liked it when him and Remy complimented each other. But sometimes things don't work out, right? They don't. So with that being said, I just think that it's getting a little messy with them bringing their personal situation with their personal business, including the kids and playing recordings, showing text messages, all that. She's showing how she's packed up his stuff. And that's just very disturbing for me to see because I feel like sometimes, but when you bring your things to the internet, like your personal, like your marriage, like what's going on in the marriage, you have to be prepared for people to give their opinion. And that's just being truthful. When you do that, you open up the doors for people to be personally in your business. So for a person to say, well, y'all don't know me and you people got to stop doing this. We only go by what you're putting on the internet, right? We only go on what we see on the internet or what you're telling us. You know what I'm saying? We can only go by what you tell us, right? Especially if we're not personally entwined with you. We go by what we see, And if you're putting it out there like that, how bad is it? Because I feel like everything was a little quiet for a minute until Clarissa did her interview. Now, I watched the interview, like I said, and I didn't see not one bad thing that she said about Remy. Not one. Not one bad thing. She said that wasn't her business. She didn't have anything to do with that. She said that that was up to Pep to handle. Like, she has no ill will with anyone. So if that was the case, according to Pap, and now this is alleged, he stated that she called him in a frenzy saying that Clarissa said some bad stuff about her. I also watched her video, and I'm still going to say alleged, and she said, you know, as long as your people come out here and address me, I'm going to address you. Well, that's not a good way to do that, Remy. That's not a good way to do that, because if she didn't address you initially, why would you be addressing Pap for an interview that she did and didn't mention you? So that further leads me to believe that there's something deeper that you guys still had not resolved. And I'm only saying that because you all have two other parties that's involved. And that's the block captain dude, and that's Miss Clarissa Shields. And I feel like when you do things like that, you still have to consider the people that is involved. And those two would definitely be involved, because you're dating him and he's dating her. So it's like, I think it's unfair for the other parties. And I'm just throwing it out there, to be thrown into something that you guys need to settle in court or behind the scenes, or y'all want to end it amicable. I know that he said that he really wanted just to end it like adults, and he wants to see his daughter. But she's making that kind of difficult. Then you have her saying, you have my lawyer's number. It's not me holding it up. Just if you need the money, I'll give it to you. So now it's a question of what's the holdup? Because I feel like if you guys are in a relationship with each other, with the other people, then it's time for y'all to let go, because you lingering on the marriage is still in violation of the marriage. If you're still married, you're still in violation of the marriage. So at some point, you have to recognize that, is their love still there? Because if you guys were fully through with each other, I feel like it wouldn't end this ugly. I feel like you guys, because you all are moved on into new relationships, that it wouldn't get to the internet. It wouldn't be like this. It wouldn't be like this. You know what I mean? I always feel like it's a way to handle anything, all situations. I feel like you guys could not bring it to the internet and just handle it behind the scenes, because a lot of people look up to you guys. I know that, you know, the rumor with Rem coming out with this Easy to Block Captain dude. He was very quiet. Now, it really erupted when he had to go check this Easy to Block Captain dude about his wife. And I feel like he had every right to do so. Yeah, you could say that we're not together, but that's still my wife at the end of the day, right? And if he were being totally disrespectful to his marriage, he had every right, you know what I'm saying, to check you as far as his marriage is concerned, right? However, what I see here is two people that are hurt from love. I feel like Pap really loved her. I feel like Pap really loved Remy. What guy you know, and let's just keep it real, what guy do you know that will wait on you, move close to the jail that you're in or the prison that you're in, wait on you to get out, make sure he's writing on you, making sure that he's bigging you up. Allegedly, what he says is he wrote most of her material, like 90%. How you doing, Kim? What's going on? See, she said he did. So, and I have to say alleged Kim because I know he did, right? Because I'm a Pat fan, so I'm a Papoose fan. So if what dude do you know gonna do all that? Gave up his crib to move closer to you so he could be closer to you because he knew that you needed him. I know a lot of times that word narc be thrown around a lot, but when I watched this complete video, because I had to go find it through another outlet, and I watched the complete video, which was about an hour long. He was saying that he said that he wanted to keep everything quiet or whatever. She's been doing, she's been cheating. And I don't have anything against Remy, you know what I'm saying? But I did notice when she came back on the scene that she was being when she came back on the scene and they did the love and hip hop thing, I can see that just some of her characteristics. I'm glad that she got out. I'm glad that she was doing everything. Hi, Miss Talanda. I'm glad that she got out. I'm glad that she got back on her feet with her husband's help, with Papoose help. That she got back into the groove of things. She wanted a baby. He gave her that because she basically wanted the baby, right? And he made sure that happened. She made sure that they both wanted this equally. I'm just not going to say she wanted it by herself. He wanted it too. And I just seen her attitude a little bit more. It's got to be my way. It got to be my way, or kind of. I'm a control freak type thing. Like I have to be in control. If I'm not in control, then things are going to go bad, right? If I can't control the narrative or I can't have the control, then things are going to go bad quick, right? So that's where I'm at with it. I feel like she didn't give him enough respect to keep whatever she was doing on the side private. Because as a married woman, even if you step out on your marriage, that should be private. I feel like people who step out on their marriage while you're still in the marriage, I'm talking about staying in the same home and all that stuff, that should be private. That should be private. I feel like if you're out in public with the person that you're cheating with on your wife, I feel like y'all shouldn't be out willy-nilly, because what if someone see you that knows you and see y'all together? I feel like the person that puts their self in the position of the side person should know their position. That's all to it. You should know your position because 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, I'm not just saying in all cases, but I'm just saying 9 times out of 10, the side person already know that you're married. They know it. They know that you're married, right? So for a person to feel like they need to take that first position, mm, I don't know. I feel a way about that. Like I said, in my heydays, in my 20s, and that was my 20s. So that was over 30 years ago. I did date someone that was married, but I knew my position. And it was never to the point to where I asked him to leave his wife. He said he was going to leave his wife. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing to that extent. We already knew what it was, right? And plus, I had been knowing him since I was like 14, 13, 14. And we just never connected. So in that light, but we was always drawn to each other, right? And but I knew my position. After, down the line we hooked up, I knew my position as he was married, right? She knew that she knew that she could cheat and Papoose was going to love her the same. But this last incident didn't work and now she's hurt. Exactly. That's my thing. If you are a habitual cheater and your person keeps taking you back or accepting that you're cheating, now it's time for that other person to look at themselves. Because if you keep allowing your mate to cheat, you might want to see where you are within yourself. That's how I feel. I feel like you should see where you are within yourself as far as the cheating goes, because it's cheating if you're married. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's cheating. If you're married, you're cheating, right? If your wife doesn't know about the other person, you're cheating, right? So either the person that you're cheating with needs to know their position, or you're going to have to make some decisions. Are you going to make decisions to be with the person that you're cheating with, or are you going to stay where you at? 9 times out of 10, I find in situations like that the man is not going to leave his wife. Now, I don't know about the wife leaving the husband, because mentally, when we check out of situations, like mentally, when we check out, we're checked out. We're checked out mentally, right? And we do. Once we check out mentally, there's no coming back. So if we're stepping outside our marriage, you better believe that we're not staying in it. We're not. We're not. And I'm just talking from a woman's perspective. We're not gonna stay there. We're not. Men are different. Especially men with families. But a woman, when she's checked out, she's checked out. And then she just may stay, maybe because, like in their situation, they have a child together. You know what I'm saying? They have a baby. The other kids are older and grown, but they have a baby together. So from what Pat was saying on his video, he said that, he wanted to be in the house with his daughter until his daughter went off to college, to the prom, he said. So I felt like Easy the Black Captain should have knew his position. He should have known that he was the side nigga, right? Just keep it a buck. For him to have, and that this is alleged, they said that he was going around saying that he was having this affair with Remy. and I know he knows that she was married because he shook the man's hand, right? And that's what Pap whole thing was. He was like, it wasn't that he slept with my wife, it was that he shook my hand and then slept with my wife, which is bogus. You know what I'm saying? That's if I'm sleeping with your husband, I'm not gonna be trying to be friends with the wife, or I just can't put myself in that field. You know what I'm saying? My married guy had a wife. I think she went to school um, with someone I know, but I didn't know her personally. I wouldn't do that. It was almost like he used to be trying to get me to come to functions at his house. And I was like, no, nigga. Like, no, I'm not doing now, I'm not doing that, right? But it's a connection that you have. Maybe they have the connection with you and you just don't know it. Or you have that connection with the other side person and it might be a little deeper, or it's dwindled off, with their spouse. However, you should not be making the side person feel superior than the person you're in the relationship with, your wife or your husband. You shouldn't. I feel like everybody just needs to know how to play their position. And I think that it was a thing a while back about, things getting leaked, and she opened his phone and that's how she found out about Clarissa. Well, that's another thing, because Clarissa never came out and said anything about her and Pap. When her and Pap started talking, you didn't hear anything about her saying, yeah, I'm with Pap. She never did that because she knew her position, right? Just like now, I think if that thing did not come out with them, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if it didn't come out with them, no one still would have known that he was dating her, right? Because who brought it to the internet? Once again, Remy did. Remy brought it to the internet, which further let me know sometimes you don't want the person, but you really don't want nobody else to have the person either. I ain't gonna say that she never loved her husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that. But you can damn sure tell that he really loved her more than she loved him. I only say that because she allowed another guy, which was not her husband, it was a side dude, to disrespect him. And now she feels like she deserves all the respect in the world. I think it's very bogus. I'm sorry, Remy, I'm not on your side on this one. I don't have anything to I don't have no beef or anything with you or anything like that, but I just feel like you're wrong in this situation because your situation came up first. And then you bought Pap's situation with Clarissa Shields out first. You did that. You know what I'm saying? So they probably would have still kind of been secretly doing their thing if you hadn't brought it to the internet. But because you was getting so much scrutiny on the internet because you were out and about with your guy and someone seen you, you know what I'm saying? And it got out, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, Miss Kim. She did. So my thing is you can't get mad now and try to blast him, try to talk about what he was. Oh, yes, he was a big help. You know, she was really being sarcastic. Like, oh, he was a big help. Yeah, he was good at holding my bags and tying up my shoe. Like, that was the only thing that he did for her. And I think when people do that, it's malice. It's I'm mad. It's I'm hurt. It's I'm hurt. I couldn't love you enough. Now I see that you have somebody who's going to love you enough. I'm upset because now I don't have that control with you anymore. I don't have the control with you anymore. I can't make you do what I need you to do because now this other party has come and taken him away from me because now I just said it yesterday. When when people are used to the way that they act and the people that they involve themselves with or the people they're in relationships with gets comfortable with their toxic behaviors, they get comfortable. So they get comfortable with their behaviors. So they never change the behaviors. They just become more toxic. So he allegedly said on his video that she's done this several times. She stepped out on the marriage several times. And I guess she felt like because he kept forgiving her and taking her back, he accepted that behavior from her. And he wasn't going anywhere. I'm not going nowhere. He probably was like, nah, I'm going because he had that much love for her. And that person usually gets comfortable with doing that. And because she got so comfortable with him just staying, it's a shock factor now that he feels like I'm out, I'm tired, I'm at the end of my rope, I'm done. I'm done, son. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my New York on. I'm done, son. You know, it's like you have to know, hey, Miss Sonia, you have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And I think that's where he's at now. He knows where he's it seems like he's happy. I don't know their backstory. And like I said, I'm not in their home. But what they're displaying on the internet shows I'm hurt. I'm hurt. And he didn't come out on this. Even when he knocked the old boy out, he didn't come out on it. They wanted him to address it, but he didn't. He still didn't. You know what I'm saying? And when he finally did address it, they wanted him to come out here and change the story like he didn't. Well, this is the problem with that. It was too many witnesses there to say that he did. Blessings, LaGale. How you doing? Thank y'all for coming in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm not going to be on too long. I just wanted to hit this hot topic because it's hot. Because both of them made statements yesterday. She showed how she's packed up all his clothes. He need to come get them. And in return, he had to address her. And this is why I feel like she's hurt. I looked at all the events because I'm like, okay, now why is she coming back out? Like, what is her issue? And then I thought about it. Clarissa just went on the Breakfast Club and she did an interview. And she rocked out on that interview. That interview was good. You know, like she did a good interview. She didn't mention nothing negative about Remy. She said that was not her business. She don't have no beef. She ain't had nothing against her. That was between her, Pap, and her, is what she said. So she didn't have no bad ill to say, nothing. I think that bothered her. I think the interview bothered her because she was talking highly of Pap. And I think that Remy just always thought that Pap was going to be that dude that no matter what, he was just going to be that. I can cut a fool out here and he's still going to be here. Mm-hmm. So in that instance, I believe Remy is still hurt. He called her a narcissist, allegedly. And I just want to say something about that because through what I've been going through or what, I had to go through, I've been looking at a lot of narcissist channel on here on this YouTube, listening to people who are a self-proclaimed narcissist, people who are narcissists and telling you how to stray away from narcissists, people who've been in a relationship with narcissists and built their channel on their experiences with narcissists, right? So I'm heavy deep in that. So something he said to me clicked. He said, she's a narcissist. Is when she can't have control, or when she can't have control. He said something to the effect, so don't quote me on it. When she can't have control, she paint a narrative. She paint a narrative. It's always about her. It's always about her. It's never about solving anything, right? And when narcissists, when they hear the truth about themselves, is what he said, they lose it. They lose it. That's when the lies come in. That's when I have to paint the narrative to keep my image the way I want to keep my image, type thing. I've just dealt with that a couple times, right? And I feel like if you have to do that to prove your point, instead of just saying I'm hurt or going somewhere to talk to somebody about it, then that's when you have a problem. Yes, one thing to be a person in the spotlight or a celebrity or however people want to put it, and you put your business out there for the world to mock or for the world to criticize or critique. So you can't tell a person not to say nothing because they're only reporting on what you show them. Whatever they see you're showing them, they will report on it. They will report on it because they feel like you brought it out here for us to talk about it. So now why we can't talk about it, if that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. So I just feel like people move on for peace. And that's what I'm going to end it with. People move on for peace. I think Pat moved on for peace. I believe that Clarissa is his peace. Even though that he is still legally married, at this point in time, I think he mentally checked out. And usually when guys mentally checked out, because they mentally check out first, but I feel like he mentally checked out on her. And when he did that, he opened that door, he left a little leg room for someone to slide in there. And that's exactly what Clarissa Shields did. And I'm not saying it negatively. I'm just saying Remy left that door open for another woman to suit your man, to pursue your man. And if she wanted to protect that relationship, I'm pretty sure she could have. I think she just didn't want to because she was doing her own thing. But in the end, love does hurt. You don't have to bring everything that you go through with your mate on the internet. You just don't. I think it's kind of whack that a person would bring your personal business on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, we all have had those days to where, we may sub and do a lot of things. However, with it being to this magnitude to where now y'all are talking about the kids and talking about each other's kids and the families thrown in here and, friends is thrown in here and, different people are thrown in here. It's even allegations of her sleeping with another woman, right? And that's allegedly. But love hurts. And all I could see on Rem's face yesterday, looking at her videos, was hurt. That's all I seen. I just seen that she's very hurt. Instead of her talking to her man because she got to put on this image that she don't want him. she puts on for the internet. And at some point, you got to realize what's fact and what's fiction. And I think we don't do that enough. We don't. People just be out here throwing out wordplay and all that stuff to turn people against you, to make your character or diminish your character. Like I said, sometimes you can say things and people would think you're addressing them, but I only say hit dogs will holler. Because if you're not the person or you're not anything pertaining to what I'm speaking of, then why are you hurt? Why would you think I'm throwing a rock? Why do you think I would be hiding my hand, throwing a rock and hiding my hand, if that's not the person that you are? Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, people, when love hurts, be careful of the repercussions behind it. Be careful of the life-changing decisions you may be thinking of making. Be careful how you protect your heart and your peace at the end of the day. Now, I predict that Papoose and Clarissa gonna make it. If they do, would that be added? Would that be an added situation for their baby girl? Just let me know. Y'all drop in the chat. I just wanted to tell y'all real quick. Y'all follow that story and y'all read his complete interview. You play his complete live and you do her complete live. I think it's about an hour and some change. His is and hers is really short, but make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe to the page if y'all have not. But when love hurts, learn how to process it before you do something stupid on the internet. Learn how to process that hurt and don't be an emotional demon on the internet. That's all I say. Sometimes we have to learn how to process our emotions so we won't be out here looking all messed up. So just learn how to process your emotions, level up, and just know how to maintain a healthy emotional state in your mind when things derail for you in real life, right? Don't be emotional demon out here. Like, don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. Your feelings is your feelings, right? But it's really not good if you're supposed to be the person that you say you are. You wouldn't have to diminish no one character to make yourself look good. You wouldn't have to diminish no one character to make yourself look good. Right? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. So with that being said, I want y'all to have a good Friday. TGIF. I love you guys. I just want to give y'all my little quick take on that. Keep it 100 with yourself all the time. Peace, y'all. Have a good day.